Stop searching for the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow and join Refashionista Sheri and the Refashionista Revolution and DIY everything your heart desires using items you already have around the house.
To help celebrate St. Patrick's Day, we are going to create 3 awesome green projects today, 2 oldie but goodies, and 1 we're actually going to make using a tutorial from my Refashioning 101 book. So let's get started. This first tutorial has us going all the way back to 2013, but fear not, because the product of the tutorial is still awesome and still going strong. So all you need is a blazer or a light jacket and a sweater. Because this jacket was boring in beige, I dyed it a lovely green color. Then all I did was chop off the sleeves of the blazer and chop off the sleeves of the sweater, popped those sweater sleeves into the blazer armholes, of course, with the right sides facing, and then stitched them together. Now, I could have been done, but I wanted to fancy it up, so I went ahead and found a coordinating vintage necktie, chopped that up into some pieces that fit over the pockets, and I stitched on the lovely little embellishment. And you know what? The dude absolutely loved this. He wore it for years, but doesn't fit him anymore. So now it's mine, along with the hat, and those glasses are actually the ones that Frau Ingeborg now wears. Next, we're heading back to 2016 for an incredibly simple no-sew tutorial, and all you need is a t-shirt, some bleach, Q-tips, and a plastic-covered piece of cardboard. So, of course, the first thing you want to do is put some bleach in a bowl and grab those Q-tips. Then you simply put that piece of cardboard in between your shirt front and back, so your shirt is in essence wearing the cardboard. Then sketch out a very light design. Of course, in this case, it is a shamrock, and I just used some chalk I had lying around to do this. Use a pencil if you want. Use whatever the heck you have on hand. Then you want to dip your Q-tips into the bleach and dot all the way around your design. And once you're happy with how much your design has lightened and become visible, simply toss the t-shirt in with your next load of laundry and enjoy your fancy shamrock personalized easy no-sew t-shirt. And as promised at the beginning of the video, I have grabbed my awesome Refashioning 101 book, and we are actually going to make one of my fantastic tutorials from this book. This one right here, which is DIY bell sleeves. It's so easy. All you need is a button-down shirt and a couple of hankies. So let's go into my stash and grab my lovely basket full of cool hankies. All right, I have my shirt and I have my lovely basket of thrifted vintage hankies here, and I have a hard time passing up a cool hanky at the thrift shop. So I have quite a few that I've collected over the years, but I think I want to go for something that matches enough, but like it has some green in it, but that it can still, you know, look funky. And let's see, those two actually match pretty good, and they're the same size. I wonder, we get a sleeve, and let's see. Ooh, I think that would look quite cool, right? As like the bell part of the cuff. I'm just going to look a little bit more and we shall see. I think I'll do a poll and we'll see what you guys think is the best, and then that's the ones we're going to go with. Don't forget to bust out that Hausfrau torture device and give your hankies an awesome press so they're nice and flat and easy to work with. Okay, so we have the shirt, we have the hankies. Hankies are ironed. We're not going to do this step and dye everything because I don't want it to be dyed. I want to keep my shirt green and I want to keep the pattern of the hankies visible. So next step is to simply cut off those sleeve cuffs. Okay, so I have my shirt folded evenly in half with the shoulder seams lined up and the cuffs lined up. And I think I'm actually going to cut it, let me see, right above this flappy opening part here, and you know where the buttons are there. I don't know what it's called. If somebody knows what it's called, leave it down below, please, because I love learning the names of things. And again, I'm self-taught, so I don't have a clue what things are called. So following my own tutorial in my lovely Refashioning 101 book here, next we're going to fold one of the hankies in half to form a triangle. Then we're going to fold it in half again. Okay, I don't think vintage hankies are really ever super even, like it's lined up here, but this side is kind of but you know what? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter in the end because it's going to be a big bell sleeve there. So it's going to be flippy flapping around. No one is going to notice if it's a little bit uneven, least of all me wearing it. And I'm the one making it and wearing it. And that is what is important. And as I always say, perfection is the enemy of good enough. So let's move on to the next step. All right, so it says fold a sleeve in half and place it on the folded hanky just below the point with the corners of the sleeve end lined up with the edges of the hanky and cut off the top point of the hanky. Okay, I have one of the sleeves folded in half. It looks just like the picture. And I'm going to put my hanky underneath it like so, just like in the picture. And then I'm going to line up the width of the sleeve with the width of the hanky here. You see where we're going with this? We're making the hole so we can add the hanky to the sleeve here. And then I'm just going to cut off the point of the hanky. And when I open it up, look at that. It's a square, but it'll do. It'll do. It'll work for our purposes here. Okay, next. Ta-da! Use the chopped hanky as a template to cut the center out of the other hanky. Of course, because these sleeves are the same size, right? So we can literally just use this as a template to make the other one. And again, I know I shouldn't have cut it in a square, even if you can see the original one I made for my book here. It's not a square. It's a nice little circle right there. But you know what? Once again, no need to follow rules. Whatever works for you, you do it. I am here to inspire you and get you upcycling and refashioning your own wardrobe. You know, join the Refashionista revolution, because it's a lovely place to be, and you can absolutely create your own unique style using items you already have, plus a few bits and bobs from the thrift shop, you know. And again, I'm the freaking proof. I am the proof, and you know it, that you don't need to have any super special skills or anything. As I continually say, I inherited an old sewing machine, totally super vintage, when I was 38. And if I can do this, anybody can. And now I like teach other people how to do this now. So don't be afraid. Just give it a go, you know. Just start cutting up something that you don't care about. And that's the beauty of refashioning. If you make a wrong cut or you sew something wrong, you know what? Just make it into something else, because who cares? Again, you're making it for you, right? So enjoy. Okay, I'm being blabbery too much here. So the final step now, we're at the final step, is to pop the hankies over the sleeve ends with the right sides facing and raw edges lined up and stitch them together. And then, because I'm me, of course, I also like to flip the sleeves right side out and zigzag over the outside seam for extra strength. And you can see here my Refashionista tip. Printed or embroidered hankies make for quirky, contrasting results. That's exactly what we're doing today. You can use your imagination. I used floral hankies like this here and replace the shirt pocket as well. Isn't that adorable on that one? But you know what? Once again, I'm being too chatty. So let's do this one first. And with hankies, you really do have like a right side and a wrong side. It's easy to tell because the little folded over edge here, it would be technically the inside of the hanky, right? So we're going to pop our right sides together with the sleeve, just as I said to do in the book. And there's no seams or anything to line up here. So you're pretty much just lining up the raw edges And then you're going to go and stitch all of this together. And when you pop it down, you're going to have your gorgeous bell sleeve cuffs. So let's go do it. And the shirt is done. Blam! Here is one adorable sleeve cuff, and kablam! There is the other one. How gorgeous does that look? They are lovely and belly and floaty. They're just fabulous. But of course, I also went ahead and I cropped this because it was just way too long. And if you want to know how to create the perfect cropped button-down shirt, I'll link that tutorial down below for you. And it's actually a recent one where I recreated a expensive Drew Barrymore designer look using items I already had in my house. So it was totally free and it's awesome. Plus I style it, I think personally, a little bit better than she did, or her stylist did. But we actually recreated this shirt from my book, and I actually think maybe I like this one better, but I don't know. You know what? You can be the judge of that because I still have that shirt and I still wear it and it's still awesome. And you can see here, I just dyed, those white hankies and a white button down, and the lace here, it's not even the same lace, but you don't even notice because it's dyed, right? And it's just adorable and fantastic. And of course, it is in my amazing Refashioning 101 book. There's literally hundreds of tutorials in here, and you don't need any fancy experience because I take you from start to finish, right? We got thrifting tips here. We have, cleaning tips, how to clean those items you get at the thrift store. We have loads of no-sew tutorials. And of course, then I teach you how to sew even in this, because everything in this book, you can actually make hand sewing without a sewing machine. Even this, it just takes a little bit more time. But I do, of course, also have my sewing machine tips. And it's just, you can recreate your whole wardrobe using things you just already have lurking around your house. And then, oh look, there's even shoes. Man, this is just awesome. And the very last chapter here, I show you what to do with all of those scrappy bits of fabric that you have left over from making all of these other wonderful items. So yeah, check it out. Link will be down below. Get it and help support my Refashionista revolution.
This is Confessions of a Refashionista.